In 1946, J. Lewis Cooper Sr. left his family grocery store in downtown Pontiac to start the J. Lewis Cooper Company. He began the distribution business at the suggestion of his cousin, Brother John Hoffman, who ran the Christian Brothers Winery in Napa. It was a modest beginning with Cooper Sr., using public warehousing and selling wine 3 days a week and delivering it himself the other 2. In the late 40s, he began adding drivers and getting his own warehouse space. His first big break came when the distribution rights for the E&J Gallo Winery for Metro Detroit became available in 1956. After being awarded those rights, most of the company's growth came and went with the success of the Gallo Winery. Items like Thunderbird, Ripple, and Madria Sangria represented a large portion of the company's business. About this time, J. Lewis Cooper Jr. joined his father's company and began a long career in the wine business, spending most of his time focused on the operational challenges this rapid growth created. Meanwhile, he was also working to secure the continuation of the family business, not only to his second generation, but beyond as well. In the early 70s, Boone's Farm catapulted Cooper's volume. This growth required the hiring of many new salespeople, one of whom was a Michigan Stater named Sid Ross. Sid worked at Cooper in the 1970s, holding numerous positions. In 1977, he left Cooper to join the Mogen David Winery as a state manager for Michigan, calling on many of the wholesalers in the area that sold the wines, one of which was General Wine, a small distributor located on the east side of Detroit. In 1978, Sid left Mogen David, sold his house, moved his pregnant wife Elizabeth into an apartment, and purchased General Wine. In the 80s, both companies experienced much success and many trying times, but unlike a lot of their competitors, they survived. Strong competition between the two distributors resulted, which actually created a mutual respect. General's growth and success was tied to Richard's Wild Irish Rose, as well as the start of a liquor brokerage business. The company's name was then changed to General Wine Company and General Liquor Company. Meanwhile, Cooper continued to grow with many successful launches by the Gallo Winery such as Andre, Carlo Rossi, and Bartles & James. In the 1980s, both companies began making acquisitions, Donley Distributing and O'Donnell Importing by General, and H.J. Van Hollenbeck by Cooper. In 1985, a third-generation family member joined the J. Lewis Cooper Company when J. Lewis Cooper III entered the business. Throughout the 90s, fierce competition between the two companies helped them both rise to the largest wine and spirit companies in the state. Both companies focused on expanding their share of the wine and spirits markets. And both companies got involved as ADAs when the state privatized the warehousing and delivery of spirits in 1997. Around the country, consolidation was happening at a rapid pace, and Michigan was no exception, with Cooper acquiring Viviano, Bellino, Gordon's, Tom Ryan, and Oak, while General acquired Decanter and Demarest. When 2006 rolled around, many family wholesalers around the country were gone. The consolidation had created a few huge regional and national wholesalers, and not many companies were left the size of Cooper or General. In November 2006, Sid and Lewis Cooper III met, and the discussion about joining forces began. Great Lakes Wine and Spirits became official when the merger was completed in February of 2008, and the company celebrated the union in September of that year. The newly formed company did not stop there, however, as Great Lakes then acquired Lansing's Classic Wine Distributors in February of 2009, continuing its growth and progress. 2 years later, in June of 2011, the entire office staff joined together into the newly revamped Highland Park offices. Then in February 2012, Great Lakes Wine and Spirits acquired Bayside Beverage in Petoskey, Michigan, expanding the company's presence in the northern Lower Peninsula and Upper Peninsula, and renewing its presence in Michigan's beer business. Miller Coors, Boston Beer Company, and Michigan Craft Beers. Other acquisitions would follow shortly thereafter. In July 2012, Nate Wines Incorporated. In October of that same year, Ward Beverage Company. In December of 2012, Tassin Distributing. And in May of 2014, Thompson Beverage Company from Milan, Michigan. Other additions to this list: Wicksall Distributing Incorporated in Traverse City, Earl Smith Distributing Company in Port Huron, and Anderson Distributing Company in Jackson. A sign of the success of the partnership is illustrated by the many awards and accolades Great Lakes Wine and Spirits has received from suppliers since the merger. With the purchase of Earl Smith, Great Lakes Wine and Spirits hit a milestone, now employing over 1,000 Michiganders. And the company continues to grow and prosper. A fixture in the beverage business in the Midwest and a model company rooted in a solid foundation of a family business and proud of its rich history and success.